a little different than what's happening on Kickstarter, where it's the publishers that are bringing them, right? Where Zoop seems to be, it's not so much publishers, it's big name creators coming and doing that work that they have been waiting to do or whatever, right? They didn't go to Image, they went to Zoop.
Yeah. Kelly Williams has a book right now, Zoop of 19 Days Left. He's not even halfway.
Yeah. So the other thing about Zoop is, unlike Kickstarter, is they can move the goalposts too, right? So if they don't make it this week, I'm sure you'll see there's one more week left, and then there's one more week left until they finally hit that goal. So that's an advantage. Yeah, and they still get the sense of urgency without the total failure type scenario that you can get in Kickstarter. Like, you're $5 short, we're giving back all that money you collected. Like, that's a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, there's also this book on here called The Great Pacific, the Community Trash Edition, which I think has been out there for over a month, and still hasn't made its goal.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's, again, no guarantee, right? Like, it's like anything. I think that's the case everywhere, though, even if it's, from everything I've been hearing, whether you're with a publisher or crowdfunding or whatever, there's not much help to be had. Like, you get your odd press release or whatever if you're with some publisher, and that's it. And they put it on you to do the sales. It does, the grass isn't always greener.
Yeah.
But yeah, have you tried any other services other than Kickstarter, or you primarily Kickstarter?
I'm primarily Kickstarter. Zoop reached out once or twice, but I'm basically saying I don't know if I'm not ready for Zoop. It is the truth.
Yeah. No, that's a pragmatic decision, right? Like, I would do it if I knew I could make it work, but it's hard to tell everyone to come over.
Yeah. Yeah, and given that every year is different for Kickstarter, like, I did Rocket Night last year, and I didn't even, out of the $4,000 goal, I didn't even get there until the last couple of days. And this was a $2,500 goal for Sherlock Holmes, and we just made it today with just a little under half campaign to go.
Yeah. So how long is the like, what day are we at?
We are at day, it ends on the 17th, so it says day 12, we're at day 12 and a half at this point.
Yeah, so before I guess just before the halfway point then. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's comforting.
Left days left, so a little past the halfway point.
Nonetheless, it's nice to know that it's happening. It's settled. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, it's been a strange year. I had my best campaign yet, and then I went right back to where I was before. So I felt like that was like a unicorn campaign or something, because it did. I was hoping.
Yeah, that was the one I ran off, because I made 5 figures on that campaign. I also had, it was before, who decided on algorithms. And I was like, Gabe Esquivel started to do a major push for the book as well. But yeah, for some reason the algorithms change, and
and then you just don't know. Like I said, like we were talking before the show. We do. Everyone's having this experience, so it's not even like you're not sending the right messages, or you're not whatever, or warming up your audience the right way. It's everyone on Kickstarter right now, and maybe by the time this airs, everyone's fortunes have changed. But everyone recently seems to have the same struggle. Everybody's really grinding to get to their numbers. So yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't know what's changed, but yeah, who knows? Maybe things will turn around in the new year.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It's been a weird, rough year for me, at least, and I know it's been a weird year for a lot of other people.
For sure.
I know books which I thought was funded almost right away don't fund for days and days and days.
I know what's been weird to see is usually, like, you get the like snowball effect of series. So people put out their first one, doesn't do as well, the second one does better, third one does a little better. It's like the opposite of the comic shop, where like it grows with each, and I've seen folks who have, okay, 4th issue, like we're almost done, and it fails. That's unheard of. It's usually like you've brought all the audience from 1, 2, and 3 plus new people, and instead it's going the other way, where people are just dropping off entirely. So a little scary in that one.
And I have a friend who I backed his pledge, and I told him I pledged this for his book. He's like, I have started going on right now. I haven't seen you make any posts about it. Like, I've done tons of posts about it.
Yeah, those algorithms, man. It's like I always say, you can't be annoying. Like, I've had this conversation with a few people where it's just don't worry about it. Don't worry about being annoying because guaranteed most people aren't going to see your posts anyway. Right? Like for this podcast, we're posting 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day, depending on how many little shorts I can get out of our conversation. And you'd be shocked
Yeah.
that like days later, somebody likes one. And oh my goodness, so you just saw that now, right? I posted that 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago. So
Yeah, like I posted a random picture, like it's just a future AD cover yesterday because I finally got the colors on it. And it gets tons of likes and reactions. I'm like, okay, where was everyone when I was talking about my comic? Because also the other day I was talking about Zachary Levi. He stuck his
oh
foot in
yeah,
his mouth. And then I had big reactions. So I'm like, where were you guys when I was trying to promote my comic?
that one you got a hot topic there, for lack of a better phrase. But that one, you're in the
Yeah.
zeitgeist. That's what's getting you those likes and that. But that doesn't help you sell your book.
No. But I did link it in
Oh,
there
of course. Like,
afterwards. Yeah, this one's popping off.
yeah, that's the usual, right? Oh, I didn't want this to take off as much as it did. While you're all here, give
Yeah.
this a look. So yeah, it's yeah. I don't know what the answer is because it's not only is it constantly changing, right? But you just don't know. You don't know what's gonna hit. So just post everything. That's been my theory. I cross post. I'm on every social service I can think of.
Yeah, I do. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and do have a Blue Sky, but I never use it. So
Yeah, like, but I'm
good
on Blue
point.
Sky every once in a while, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like it needs some work. I'm preferring Threads, but even then, it's just, I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Just
That was like hype for all the hot seconds.
yeah, yo, Hive, yeah, it'll crash my phone every once in a while. Yeah, uh, yeah. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what wins. I don't know why someone can't just clone Twitter, like for we could all move there and just continue on. Everybody has some weird
Yeah.
tweak, some weird way of doing it their own way. But it doesn't replace Twitter now. So we're all stuck on Twitter. And everybody seems to hate it there. And we're all there anyway.
Yeah. Maybe lucky Muskrat can't have it for very much longer. Guys, the rates just made its value nosedive into.
Yeah, there's only so much Tesla stock you can sell to prop up Twitter.
And that's probably not going well that hot either because Cybertrucks are doing
Yeah,
so hot.
what a beautiful.
It's I don't think they're their 5th or 6th recall this year
Yeah,
alone.
it's insane. Someone just did a takedown of them. It was Some More News. I don't know if you've ever seen that YouTube channel. It was like a nice hour-long takedown of the Cybertruck.
I was in I first thought California was on my vacation, and I was like, why does anyone buy these rolling
Yeah.
dumpsters? And I was literally last week I was doing a run for work because I work as a messenger for a law firm. I was on my way from one other firm to another location. I see this Cybertruck rolling past. It's advertising some vodka. Now, I don't drink for health reasons. But like if I did drink, I would not drink that vodka now.
It was an anti-sell. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. Immediate boycott. No, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. I get that. Yeah, it's exhausting. Did it,
And there's a whole bunch of stuff like raccoons are on like
I see that?
dumpsters.
Yeah, they're
They're
trying
like
to
destroying.
trying to break in. You see the thing about it? If it closes on your fingers, it'll just chop them right off. Yeah, just excellent design with humans in mind.
Yeah.
Look at it. All right, I see Roberto's doing our shading, meaning we're close. We're very close. So while he's doing some shading, let's start thinking some dialogue. We know we have a punchline.
Yeah.
Do we?
Right, for about like a mess, like always.
Yeah. Are we doing that? That's for panel 1. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Gosh, I was like, wait, I know this guy.
Right on. Yeah. Yeah.
And then they go the name like Lord Bancroft, my old boss. Now of course.
Right on. And then, okay. So that's, yeah, 1, 2, 3. this fourth panel where we get our wide shot, we see the messy.
And I was like, why do I constantly subject myself to the whims of petty tyrants? Why do I subject myself to the service of a darker
I hope
monster?
you're writing this down.
I should. No, I'll
Fuck
put
it
it
out
outside.
loud. Okay. I like it. I like it. I'm not transcribed, so
But I'm playing into the chat.
okay, that's perfect. Yeah, it's good. That's why. Yeah, that's the only reason I'm saying that. I'd be happy to transcribe it, but you said it so like succinctly that I don't want to. I don't want
Yeah.
to say it wrong.
See, I can do shift tab, so I have to shift enter on this. So I have to do like PAL 3
Oh
to
no, that's
PAL
perfect.
4.
It's easier for so Roberto does our lettering, so it's easier for him to copy paste when it's a separate line anyway. He's outdoing himself with this one. There's a lot of depth in this dungeon here. He's into it when he doesn't chime in. He's not too focused on the art.
Yes.
It's a good prompt.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah, I've been silent.
that's all right. You're doing your heavy lifting as usual with it's looking great. I don't want to throw off Daniel's train of thought either. So while he's typing, Roberto, did you end up doing Inktober? No? I know you said you weren't going to last time we talked, but
Yeah, no, I did it.
you're definitely not going to do it. Well, I've been trying. I'm not a very good artist, but
I've seen it. I've seen it. Yeah.
That's my like.
I'm just.
Sorry, go ahead, Daniel.
I have art skills just in dysgraphia, so I can't draw for my life. I actually was allowed to drop a required art course in classes. Were like, yeah, no, we're not going to report to you for this and have you fail class just because you literally didn't have the art skills for this.
That's very nice of them to do that.
Yeah.
For me, it's just not something it's not a discipline that I've developed. Like I do it in spurts, so I know of the right techniques, but my hands don't do them.
Yeah.
But I could probably tell you, but I just can't do it. So it comes out really scratchy and weird looking. But I don't know. I feel like I'm getting my points across. I usually just do something goofy for it.
You do. I read them. And they are funny
So
too.
thank you. I have one fan. I like it.
I wrote basically the rough concept I had for the dialogue.
Right on.
I saw it. I'm gonna copy it.
So yeah, so you were mentioning you don't do full scripts. So does that mean you're doing your dialogue like this isn't oral?
Yes, but I usually do full
Okay.
full script with a Marvel method. And just a Marvel method and gone back to converted it back to full script.
Okay. Yeah, because you said you're like a plot pantser, which is you can't be both.
Like I'll start off like with a full script for a full issue, and then like, okay, where do I go from here? And that's where I start
Okay, yeah.
basically my first issue.
So you
script.
don't do you're mentioning you don't do a series. Like for me, I need to know not just where we're headed at the end of this book. Like I need to know where we're headed at the end of everything. And I'm a hardcore plotter. Like I'm not a pantser in any way. I need to know where everyone ends up before the not.
Well, yeah, I mean, I usually start off like writing a whole bunch of notes, which help. And then those notes gives me like my rough outline before I even have an outline, just so I know where I'm going. Like when I have to pitch, I have to do more of a more structured outline.
Well, of course, yeah. You need to give them a sense of, and I'm gonna read it.
But I would do like pages of random ass notes where you have to go back.
Only you can read. Yeah.
Yeah, I use Google Docs, but yes.
Oh, just in terms of making sense of it, I assume. If it's anything like the notes I initially take, like it's gibberish to anyone else.
Yeah. And I think for a whole Phantom, I have 5, 6, 7, 8 pages of Google Docs notes, if not more.
What do you do do you have, I call it like an idea bank. Do you have somewhere that you keep notes like you're on the subway and you're just like, oh,
I wish I could do this with signal issues. I think the RC subway is a little bit. I do have what I call an idea vault
Yeah, yeah.
or a notes pad or a scratch pad in my Google Docs. I also just start up like little files like X idea notes. Sometimes I have to remember what did I call this thing again? And I have to like go back to Google Docs.
Yeah,
It's organized chaos. I make it work.
yeah.
I'm going to do a little edit here. Instead of that, I'm going to put this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Mine.
Because we're looking at him.
Okay.
Roberto, the editor / artist. Yeah, for me, yeah. So I do the same thing. I have a Google Doc that I use to. I've tried everything, like Evernote, and I've tried my like Google Keep, which is like the Apple Notes, but not really. All these fancy tools and stuff to keep. I find just having a Google Doc with headings. I just use the headings to separate the stories. So I have like
Yeah.
story, so I can just jump to it and be like, one more thing, right? And put everything in there, because yeah, otherwise, a lot of you know how it is. Like you have an idea, but it's half baked, but you don't want to lose it. You got to put it somewhere.
Yeah.
So just so you can get it out of the way half the time. Like usually I'm almost done this series that I'm just about ready to give to an artist, but I really want to work on this other. So it's like
Yeah.
get out and out of the way.
Yeah, because I started to think of the fancy idea I'm working on. I came up with just for some of the characters first. I'm talking with an editor. I'm like, okay, to start formulating it. I just came up with a rough concept. I was like, okay, go for it. Okay, so I don't know where to start. I'm going to start working on the pitch page scripts later this weekend, so that's ready to go.
Yeah, but
sometimes I have to go back to like going back and I have resurrecting an older idea. This kind of 80s beat 'em up idea. I have to go back and read my notes from like 3-4 years ago. I'm like, okay, I have to make sense of what I was thinking back then.
Yeah, and you see, I don't know if you do the same thing. You leave notes in shorthand for yourself because it's current you.
Yeah.
But you 4 years from now has no idea what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% I get that. My last series that I just put out is exactly that, right? It's a series that was a totally different thing when it started, but the main core concept is something I've been like massaging and noodling, and it took me a while just to remember what the point was, right? But it helps. Like you get that perspective of time and like other stories you've written and things you've seen, and it's okay. I was finally able to crack that story, but it was that if I didn't write it down, it would have been gone, and that's it. But at least I had something that I could take that old coal and make it something good.
Yeah.
But yeah, taking notes is key, I find. But everyone does it. When people are like, if I don't have the idea, then it's not meant to be, and they move on. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like a deal like what we tried to call like for a fantasy idea inspired by Studio Ghibli. I'm like Miyazaki. I'm like, hey, what did past Daniels have in mind that I can't remember?
Well, yeah. So when you're writing these things, do you have a visual style in mind usually?
Not always. Like sometimes I'll write to what the artist wants to do. So I'll reach out to the artist with an idea, and we'll change things around to down to that person's strengths and weaknesses, or likes and dislikes.
Of course, yeah.
I've really written stuff bespoke for artists who reach out to me. Hey, do you have anything for me to do? Give me a second, let me cook up. What do you like to draw?
So you work with artists that reach out to you, not to open the floodgates, but
that's happened to me. Okay, the millions here, but like want to do something they want to do, not necessarily force them to do what I want to do. I ask them, I have a couple ideas, but I just want to see what do you want to do.
I feel like that's what anthologies are really good for, right? Like, it's very low risk. Okay, we'll do our 4 to 8 pages, right, together, and then if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We'll move on.
Yeah. Oh, quick question. It should be an even darker master, not evil darker master. That was my typo. But even darker master, or evil to even.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even, okay.
That was my bad.
I don't know.
Sometimes my brain is faster than my fingers.
Have you tried dictation? It's amazing. It's one of those. It takes a lot of practice, right? Like it's unnatural. It's very unnatural. I will say that. Although it's getting better that you can just
Yeah.
speak normally and it'll figure out the punctuation for you. But
Yeah.
you still have to remember that you're dictating and you blah 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 new paragraph, right? Like you have to have that in your mind.
Yeah.
But it'll increase at least especially when you're doing that first draft of something. Like it's it's a wonderful skill to have because then you don't have that problem you just mentioned where your brain is going faster than you can write. You just as fast as you can say it, you can have it typed out, and then you do have to go and make sense of it because we're all human and we say it and pause in weird spots and all that. So you definitely need to. It's very much a zero draft or a first draft. I've found even just to do the Substack post, I usually do a draft dictating, and then I'll go clean it. I have to go do 2 or 3 more drafts than I would typically do on a newsletter post that puts that much thought into it.
Yeah.
But I've saved so much time because I spent 10 minutes talking, and that wrote my 2,000 word post. That doesn't go too long on my Substack posts, which, but that's part of it, right? Like I go in with my outline. These are the points I want to hit, and I just start gabbing, right?
Yeah.
But it's a skill. It's a skill you have to develop and learn because it's not natural at all to dictate. But if you can, my goodness, so your word counts, shoot through the roof. It's
But problem with comics is also remedies the soul of comics because you have X amount of space.
100%. Yeah. Like I haven't used it for comics. I've used it to brainstorm. So when I'm really trying to think of the arc, and like I said, I'm like I plot. So I'll pick a character and figure out their arc beginning to end. I don't want to leave anybody hanging. I hate it when a character shows up in a story and you never hear from them again. I want to know what happens to everyone. I write out all those plots. And then it comes to a 24-page story where maybe there's just a line that does all those pages I threw out in the background. But yeah, so it depends on your process and where it fits in. But if you do find that you're typing a lot of stuff, dictation is wonderful. And you just use like Microsoft Word. There's a built-in dictation tool. That's what I use. It works great. It does, like I said, it does the punctuation and that for you. Like it's pretty clever nowadays. It's not like it used to be. I think Google has the same thing, but I haven't found it to be as good. I just triggered my Google. Always listening. Always listening.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. But yeah. So I don't know. What tools do you use when you write? You doing everything in the Google Docs, or are you
everything in Google Docs.
Full script style?
Yeah.
Are you just doing your own style, or are you doing like the Fred Van Lente style, or?
I just do my own stuff, for like a better term.
Right on. I respect that. I feel like I need Rails. I don't have those Rails, so I use Scrivener for the scripting because it looks a lot more like a screenplay. There is a template you can use to do the Fred Van Lente one.
Yeah, I use Photograph or use Caltex, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's just easier for me to use just Google Docs and just plug in an idea.
It's a lot more accessible too. You don't have to think about it. Like for me, I have to get my laptop to write, which is annoying. Sometimes I'm not there.
Yeah, I'll use my laptop. I can use my work computer if it's quite enough day at work.
Yeah, don't say that too loud.
Oh, you're done for years. But like, as long as I get all my stuff in the office done, they're like, they don't complain.
That sounds like a nice
one. They even joke about it at our staff meeting. No.
All right. Where are we at, Roberto? I saw you do a wide shot. It looks like we're almost there.
Yeah.
I think he just needs that last little punchline.
It's all long. I was retouching some detail.
Right on.
But we can.
What do you think? You tell us when it's done. What we'll call it.
You asking me or David? Daniel, sorry.
Daniel. Yeah, let's ask Daniel. You think we're...
Well, there's that last bit of the they're saying you can have dental. But that's about it. It's the last slide and you got it.
Yes. How did you miss the punchline?
To be fair, the Dragon's probably giving this guy more than our employers get.
getting benefits in general. Like,
Yeah.
not making him a part-time worker. You're here freelance. You get nothing. Oh, that's too grim. That's too real.
Yeah. He may be evil, but he likes his employees
Right?
happy.
The happy worker's a hard worker.
Yeah. It's a dragon who's having dead. Oh, this is a small thing. It was the.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's the
Yeah.
the tool.
Yeah.
But yeah, just Google Docs, eh? I like it.
Yeah.
I wish I was I started that way, just doing Google Docs, and then I got all funky with like shortcuts to try to make my script look more script like. And then I just realized, you know what? I'll just use Scrivener. I was using Scrivener anyway for like my prose stuff. I found the comic template, so there I am. Now I'm using that for everything.
My layout is basically simple. Pages bolded, panels italicized, panel description,
I
dialogue.
like it. Yeah, like it doesn't get in the way. Right? Like you just write.
It's basic. It's simple. It may not be as efficient, or even made as precise as the Fred Valente
Sure.
format. But it works for me. It's worked for my artists.
That's the thing, right? They always say like the script isn't for anyone but a writer speaking to the artist. Like it's right. It's almost an email at that point. It's not intended for anyone else.
And then there is Alan Moore's Watchmen scripts, which may as well be the great British novel.
Like how much can you cut out and figure out like what matters in the.
It's like what he's telling Porter Gibbons, the precise placement of silverware on a table or the hand is.
Yeah, and then he just puts what he wants anyway.
Yeah.
Thankfully, because that's what it is.
Guys, you have to strike the balance between telling your artist what they need to do and giving their the freedom just to riff on.
Yeah.
You're going down to the minutia of how even the hand looks.
Yeah,
Like a hand gesture looks.
that's way too far. I couldn't. I don't think I'd even have that in my brain. If you see my drawing,
That down more.
Yeah, I certainly don't have that much detail. Look, I look at what Roberto's done. I can't do this.
Well, that's awesome.
All right. It is being signed. This is how we signal that it is completed. Is Roberto going to do the fancy? No, he's not. Every once in a while, I'm like, I want to see the fancy signature. He doesn't do it for me.
Oh, sorry. I have to move it.
There we go.
With the fancy.
Oh, here we
signature.
go. Okay,
just-
my wish is granted.
Where's-
I'm just jealous because I don't know how to make my last name fancy. There's no like rhythm to it. Look at that.
Nice.
Sweet. All right. We did it. Another beautiful piece. Some interesting conversation about a whole gamut of things. Con talk. Some Vincent Price talk. We've gone all over the place. All right. So we'll wrap this up here. It's been a long session, but it's been a good one. A beautiful piece of art here. I'm really impressed with the ending of it. And again, looking at it, you would never think that this is a joke comic. I think is good. It's that's what we're going for, right? Surprise people with it. Kind of really. All right. So wrapping it up, I want to thank everyone. Thank everyone for watching. Thanks to Daniel. I'm Adriano. You can find me at Pesto Comics everywhere on the internet. Roberto, where can we find you?
You can find me on almost every social media by my name, or my webpage is robertovillacabaillustration.com. And you can spread from there.
Right on. And Daniel, give us the big pitch. Tell us who you are, where you're at, all that business.
I'm Daniel Kalban. I'm the writer and creator of American Dreams, Night Graph, Broken Night, and now Sherlock Holmes, The Phantom Masquerade. You can find me on Facebook at Daniel Kalban, on Instagram and Twitter at D Kalban, and Instagram is too. And you can find me on Twitter as at Daniel Kalban.
Right on. Very easy to find, which is good.
Yeah.
Right.
I was going to be D Kalban on Twitter, except I'm beating to it.
Fair enough. Daniel Kalban. That's where we find you. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
With that, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye all.
Thank you, Daniel.